So if you can go back and you early on started to be a coach, even when coaching wasn't a thing, and you've coached, some notable people like Kimball Musk. Um, Looking back, if you look back and say, what were some of the top lessons you learned early on, in those early years? What would they be?
So I was very lucky that at 20 years old, I got involved in a franchise company called College Pro Painters. And College Pro went on to become the largest residential house painting company on the planet. I was a franchisee for them for 3 years while I was in university. Then I joined the head office and started coaching franchisees, where I was recruiting, training, and coaching franchisees. And I'd coached 120 franchisees by 1994. Coaching the International Federation of Coaches and Coach U for business coaching started in 1993. So by that era, I'd already coached 120 entrepreneurs over 4 years, and the business coaching world was just starting. So I was really trained and groomed in a lot of the soft skills of leadership. So I've gone through hundreds of hours of training at College Pro on stuff like situational leadership, coaching, interviewing, delegation, project management, time management, problem solving, complex problem solving, handling conflict, one-on-one coaching. So all the soft skills that most businesses never get trained in, I'd gone through training programs and certification programs. And then because I was involved in this franchise, and really we went out and recruited, hired, and trained 800 franchisees in 4 months. And then in 1 month, we had to train them how to hire 8,000 students. So I became operationally world class at the startup and everything on the people side of the business and leadership development. And I think that just became so ingrained at a young age. And I was so afraid of failure that I was the kid memorizing the manual. I would memorize the 350-page operating manual out of fear. That just became my operating manual. So it was like a real world MBA at a very young age.
What are some of the operational skills you think in today's leaders are missing? Because you touched on this very early on in your career. And when I think about even the companies I'm scaling, having a handle on key operating metrics and being a true operational leader is really what separates companies that really scale from companies that never really take off, right? Knowing your unit economics, all of those data, it seems to me somewhat of a rare skill these days.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I was trained in that at a very young age at College Pro. In the first summer, I just knew that I needed to make $3.52 of gross margin per operating labor hour. So I did a basic P&L, a basic income statement for every house that I painted that summer. I painted 80 houses, and I did 80 little P&Ls that I would learn from and adjust. And I just understood, again, the basic unit economics. But I also was trained that real business growth comes from caring about and obsessing about and growing people more than sitting behind a desk and pushing paper. So the mantra that I grew up with was people by day, paper by night. So during the daytime hours, I was with my people, I was with my team, I was with my customers, I was with my suppliers. I was very engaged on the people side of the business and growing the culture. And then when that was shutting down, then I could sit and look at the numbers and worry about the P&L and do the accounting. But I think oftentimes entrepreneurs get stuck behind their desk, being business, playing business, looking at stuff instead of being out there and moving the business forward.